guys, I just decided to film a quick little update on my big red ship separately because it's such a big piece and I know some of you guys wanted to look at it a little closer. So it's on my table right now. Let me see, go all the way out if you guys can see the whole thing. It's halfway done. It's on a full yard of fabric. I'm stitching it on antique white Belfast, and it's a 32 count. The threads are by Fiberlicious. It's the Ocean Sunset colorway in silks, and I did buy 2 of these, and I bought 3 of each of the ones on the bottom. So this yellow here and this blue I needed 3 of because they're very stitch heavy. I do have extra thread, so you can see here this is my extras, and I don't end up using much of the second sometimes. So the way I do it though, I end up using both because I don't want the variations to be funky in between. I know this is in the packaging, but you can see here, like these 2 yellow, they're the same color, but they're very, very different between each other. So I'll open both of those up and use one of these and then use one of those and then use one of these and then use one of those, so that I'm alternating all throughout the pattern and there's no big variations. Just because some of them, even with this orange here, that one has a lot of white in it, this one doesn't. I'll intermix both of those in and then combine them again at the end, because I don't want there to be any funky, weird stuff going on. Now this was very expensive to kit up because I use the silks and I had to buy extra, and it's a big piece of fabric, but I think about it in how much joy I'm getting out of it. This is years and years of stitching, so I'm not just getting a short little project done. I'm getting a huge piece I'm putting tons of hours in it. So even though it was more expensive to kit, I think the value is still there because of the time and joy I get out of it, for me anyways. And like, I really wanted to make this one special, so I thought about the cost, but I weighed the cost out versus if it was too much or not for me, and for me it's what I wanted to do, so I did it. And I'm happy I did it because it looks awesome. But you could probably get the same kind of effect with other over-dyed threads that weren't silks. I just really loved that color scheme, so that's exactly what I wanted. And buying the color scheme kind of gave me a start to what I wanted to do with it. So I was able to take how many colors came in it and then divide by the number of stitches it was tall to find how many stitches I went in each color. So it did help me to buy that. When I'm stitching each color, I usually do 2 or 3 at the same time so that I have some variation going on because it makes it more fun. And it's hard to figure out the feathering sometimes if I don't have more than 2 going. So my feathering scheme that I'm working with, I'm not actually making a straight line all the way across. Let me just see. Let's see if I can just add a tidbit. So this is my working copy of my pattern. I'm just gonna show for a second. You can see here that I color in, and then right up here, you can see that it's highlighted above, a few stitches above, and then I skipped a few stitches below. So that's how I feather it throughout the pattern, okay? And you can see what that looks like. Let's see, I think that was over here on the top. Since that was the last part I did, you can see it, that's what it looks like here. And then in between the colors, you can see how it's not a straight line there, but there's some purple that go into the pink, and then there's some pink that come down into the purple as well. So you can kind of see the contrast, and I feel like it gives it a softer feathering feel. If it was a straight line all the way across, it would be very harsh and hard to look at. But this kind of just softens it a little bit between color changes. And I mean, some of them you can't even see, like the blue on my camera is not showing up very well. In real life, you can see it a little more, but it's very natural looking. I really like it. Anyway, it's kind of like a halfway point update on how I'm doing on this. Again, thank you for all the love on this. I was overwhelmed with all the sweet comments you guys left on my videos and on Instagram and on Stitch Mania. So thanks again for all that, and hopefully this gives you a closer look at what I'm doing. Bye.